I'm your host, Tisha Emberton, and we're here at the Viola Valley Stars and Stripes Festival in the beautiful town of Viola. Right behind me is the car show. We're going to be looking at all kinds of cars. We're going to look at all the festivities going down here at the Viola Valley Stars and Stripes Festival. We're going to be talking with Mayor Prater. Looking forward to all this excitement ahead. Stay tuned.
Community Insider is brought to you by
Dr. Pepper. Good for life, good for the community.
Community TVTN is brought to you by Security Federal Savings Bank, proudly serving the community we call home.
High quality leads with prolific internet marketing and invigorating web design services that will energize your business. We are SiriusSEM. Call today or visit us at SiriusSEM.com.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Thank you for tuning in to Community Insider, and with me is Jimmy Priestley. Tell me what we have here behind us.
These are hit and miss engines that were made back in the teens and the 20s. They were power plants on the farm way before electricity came around. And you would put a belt on them and run a grist mill, pump water. You could run a saw. They did all the work on the farm and cut out a lot of manual labor. They were quite popular back in the day. In the teens and 20s, there were 2,000 different companies that made the old engines. And they were quite popular, like CB radios were in the 70s, like computers are today, cell phones, everybody had one. And everybody on the farm had an old engine. And all those engines were kind of put aside when electricity came around, mostly in the 40s and 50s. And ultimately, they sort of got destroyed, especially during the war effort for the cast iron. The engines are hit and miss. That means they hit a lick, then they'll coast a while. And that conserved gas. Of course, gasoline wasn't 17 cents a gallon back then, but they were still conscious of saving gas. But hit and miss engines were used for all kinds of stuff. And we have a real big one out at the Warren County Fair that maybe some of your viewers have seen. The engines these days are displayed at shows like this one. There may be a big tractor show, steam engine shows, and when the spectators get to come, they get to see what was used back in the day, back in their grandfather's days for the most part, and got a real sense of what they had to do on the farm to get things done. The engines are quite valuable. When you get one, you want to take it apart and sandblast it and paint it and make a cart to put it on so you can move it around or transport it on a trailer such as I do. I've been personally up to 325 engine and tractor and steam engine shows. And there'll be some more this summer that we'll be going to all over the country, just all over. And if you had one of these, you'll be proud of it if it was your granddaddy's. Therefore, they're pretty hard to get a hold of because people won't part with them. A lot of sentimental value. And I've been pleased to acquire about 17 of them over the years. They also, tool and die people also make little models that are about that big, that are replicas, scale models of these big engines, and they run just like the big ones, and it's kind of like a big toy, but they're quite popular as well. We're pleased to come to Viola every year. There's a show in Adams, Tennessee, Cookeville, Lebanon, but we also go to Evansville, Indiana, and Portland, Indiana, and I was up in Rantoul, Illinois last year, Hope, Arkansas, Savannah, Georgia. Oh my goodness, we are all over the country going to shows, and you can go somewhere every weekend if you wanted to and display these to kind of show people what it used to be like back in the 20s and the 30s.
I think it's absolutely amazing to see so much craftsmanship and so much work that goes into something like this.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of upkeep on them?
No, they'll run all day on a gallon of gasoline, and they don't use much gasoline at all. Here locally, I mentioned steam engines a while ago. The Burroughs-Ross-Colville plant, they ran on steam. There were other mills around that were maybe water mills, but a lot of steam mills as well. And back in the 20s and 30s, you had all kinds of water-driven, steam-driven, gasoline-driven equipment that got the job done on the farm. And we're just pleased to show them off. There's several of us that are here at Viola today. All the local fellows are. Some of the shows we go to, there'll be 60,000 to 80,000 people there over 3 or 4 days, and just a big crowd and a lot of interest for sure.
Well, we're so glad that you're here at the Viola Valley Festival. Thank you so much for talking with us here on Community Insider.
Well, thank you. Good to have you out here and taking a look at everything going on today.
All right.
Mayor Samuel Prater.
Samuel Prater?
Yeah, well, Trent is
Trent?
what, yeah.
All right. You're the kind of a guru around here. You're not only the mayor, you're a sound guy, you're kind of a mix of all trades.
Yeah, in a town this small, you sort of have to do a lot of different hats.
Wear many hats.
Exactly.
So wearing the hat of mayor, what all kinds of things have you had to face while being mayor?
Honestly, in a town this size, there's not a lot to, I mean, you know, the normal stuff that normal cities would do, asphalt, dogs running loose, something like that. But there's not that much that goes on down here that I would consider a major crisis.
So this is a big thing that y'all are hosting down here in the little town of Viola.
It is. We've been doing this since the state started the homecoming in '86, and we've missed 2 years since then. We sort of changed it up some this year and added fireworks, so we moved the dates from August to June, and that way we can sort of maybe be one of the first fireworks shows and hopefully continue on doing this for years to come.
So what all do we have here at the festival today?
We've got craft vendors. We've got, I think they said about 30, 40 of those. We've got antique engines that were used in the past for farm operations, to grind corn, to pump water. We've got 5 or 6 local bands playing, and then we've got, like I say, of course, the fireworks tonight.
So the car show, I noticed that out there today. About how many cars do y'all have today?
You know, they were expecting about 30 to 40. It's a cruise in, so they just sort of come and go as they want to or can. So, but yeah, like I say, I'm very pleased with the way things have turned out so far. So.
We're here at the car show at the Viola Valley Stars and Stripes Festival, and with me is Diane Conrady. Where are you from, Diane?
Originally from Vermont. I live in Morrison now. My husband was born here and we came back.
All right. And you entered a car in the car show today. What makes this car so unusual and what makes it unique?
Well, first of all, it's a pretty little car. It's colored up like a bumblebee, and that's unusual. But then there's a couple of probably more important things. For car people, the important thing is that it's really rare. For me, the important thing is that most of the car guys and gals, the people that knew their vehicles, did not know this existed, or I wouldn't have been able to bid on and win it. It is a 1965 Dodge Dart GT. It was a 273, but the motor's been upgraded to a 340, and the important part is it's a Dart Charger.
Oh, wow.
And the car guys that are watching this are going to say, no, there's no such thing, because as I said, the reason I got it is everybody thought Chargers started in 1966. They did, as they exist now, they started on what's called a B body. This is an A body. It was the only year that Chargers were made on A bodies. It was only made in one plant in Los Angeles. There were only 180 made and only 33 in convertibles. And from what I've been able to find out, this is one of 4 known to exist.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
But even more, it's fun to drive. It's a convertible. It's fun to drive.
So do you get out with your husband and ride the roads?
We've been getting out. We aren't taking it very far yet because I've only had it a little while. And so we found a very wonderful mechanic in McMinnville, Mr. Norrod, who works on Mopars. And he's been getting things adjusted for us, both for my driving style, and if you haven't driven a car like this in 50 years, and I haven't, it takes a while to get used to them again. So.
All right, awesome. So is your husband into cars as much as you are?
My husband is the one that's into cars. When I was thinking about buying it, I knew nothing. Well, I just said I recited because I've memorized it. He knows all the Mopars especially, but he and my brother both were car guys, and neither one knew this existed till I did the research. And so he's got his 340, a 71 Duster, here with us.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much.
So that's our retirement plan.
Oh my gosh, that's an amazing attribute. Where are y'all going to take this car? Are y'all going to go on a road trip?
No, probably just around here, and if we do go further, we'll trailer them because they're as old as we are, so they need to be treated carefully.
So is this your beauty's first car show?
No, we went to the one at the local high school and the one up in McMinnville at the Civic Center. Both of them were benefit ones, and then we've been waiting to come down here for this one.
Awesome. We're so glad that you're here, and thank you for being on our show.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We thought we might even bring things up a notch next year, and we'll just do this on the surface of the sun because it's really, really hot out here. But we appreciate you being out here tonight. If you don't know me, my name is Chris Perry. I'm the minister for the Morrison Church of Christ, and I'm also a proud citizen of Viola. I've been coming to the On the Road Again show since I believe I was dating my wife. That's been, 2 or 3 years ago. And so I've really enjoyed it. I've had a really good time, and I know that you will too. We've got some wonderful acts in store for you tonight. And of course, we've also got some fireworks after that. We're going to celebrate our country's independence just a little bit early. But thank you for being out here. Please stay cool, stay hydrated, and join with us in the fun.
There was these 2 men sitting on the front porch at a nursing home. They were watching the cars go by. Well, one man said, well, I think I'm going to go in. I think my behind's gone to sleep. Well, the other man said, yeah, I think you need to too, because I've heard it snoring. Thank y'all very much. And if you ever get to Grinder Switch, be sure and get out and say, tell anybody you see, howdy, just so glad to be here. And you won't be surprised how they answer you.
Artist coming up is certainly another one of those one-name wonders. Just his first name would let everybody know who it is that we're talking about. He has been called the King of Rock and Roll. He has the most gold and platinum albums of all time. He's the best-selling solo music artist of all time. And tonight he is performing his last top 10 hit. Ladies and gentlemen, singing Burnin' Love, Mr. Elvis Presley.
We hope you're enjoying the program, and we want to hear from you, maybe for some show ideas or for more information about what we do and how we can tell your next story. Give us a call today at 931-409-7151, or simply just email us at communitytvtn, all one word, at gmail.com, or check out our website at www.communitytvtn.com. We would love to hear from you. Send us your email, communitytvtn@gmail.com.